I'm going to read you a letter now about World War III. Now, this letter was written in 1871, and even if it's not a letter, perhaps it was a plan, because what's in this letter is very accurate, and this has been around for many decades. So, and this is what's happening now. So the letter was written by Albert Pike, who was a 33-degree Freemason, occultist, Grand Master and creator of the southern jurisdiction of the Masonic Scottish Rite Order. To Giuseppe Mazzini, who was an Italian revolutionary leader of the mid-1800s, as well as, and this is very important, director of the Illuminati. Now, this is the plan. It says the Illuminati plan for 3 world wars and was written in 1871. Now, even if this is not correct, that it was a letter, like I say, it could have been a plan, and along the way, Chinese whispers, it's now incorrect that it was a letter, it was just a plan. Because this has been around for decades, and this is what's happening now. But this is what it says anyway, and you can make your mind up. And when you do your research, don't just do it on Google, please. People in the know what I mean by that. As use other search engines like Yandex. Also, you'll find stuff on Instagram and YouTube as well, and other sites out there by independent publishers. Okay, so the First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the powers of the Tsars in Russia and of making that country a fortress of communism. The divergences caused by the agentur, which is the agents, of the Illuminati between the British and Germanic empires will be used to foment this war. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy the other governments and in order to weaken the religions. The Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine. During the Second World War, international communism must become strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which will then be restrained and held in check until the time when we would need it for the final social cataclysm. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the State of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of the revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity whose deistic spirits, never heard of that, deistic, never heard of it said like that, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out into public view. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement, which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. You can find a copy of that letter online. So, because I don't think the word Zionism, although it might have been, because the word Zion is in the Bible, I think, wasn't around at that point. This document could have been updated. Anyway, I'll leave you with that for now. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section. Remember who's running the world. The deep state, if you know who the deep state are, and the secret societies and their wishes and influence and power.